We have to do a new politics that has three characteristics I put here. This politics must reject a rejection of false mythologies about Nigerian politics. The false mythologies is that Nigerian politics must go through a particular path dependence. It must be ethnic, it must be religious, it must hover around some so-called big names. That is not true. Today, the confluence of new technology, of the rise of narratives, and the power that's prevalent means that all of us here today can overthrow the political order and create a new one. You don't need to be anchored to any powerful name. We have to reject the mythologies that this is not possible. The mythology that if you don't have billionaires, you can't win election. The mythology that INEC, though it is a bankrupt, fraud electoral commission, cannot be changed. It can be changed. The mythology that judges can safely continue to give judgments that are essentially political stimulants to electoral fraud. That's a mythology. Judges themselves can be converted into a new jurisprudence that recognizes and authenticates the people's will. We have to depart from these mythologies. We have to reject them. We have to reject also the idea of ethno-religious outbidding and competition. We have Nigerians have a common destiny to perish or prosper. We have a common destiny to be a poor people or to be prosperous. Our diverse identities are not themselves hindrance to transcending and mobilizing a common movement. Our leaders, those who have put us in this tragedy, have foolishly and criminally emphasized ethnic religious difference. Nigeria is a contiguous zone that poverty can radiate across board and wealth can radiate across. There should be no geopolitical resistance to creating a Nigerian movement that answers to every Nigerian. That's what the obedient movement will reject. And finally, every embeddedness. We can't save Nigeria if we're embedded in the corrupt, patrimonial system. We are embedded in the one all our friends, all our families. We are embedded in the one all our villages. You can't, because Nigeria is almost verging to a criminal state now. So the leader of this revolution must be a man who can step away from this cobweb of corruption and incompetence and fiercely move on to the right direction. We don't want a person who belongs, a person who shares. We're looking for a radical peace. None of these leaders who get country from this trajectory of failure to success, we are philanthropists. They had two things going for them. They were passionate for what they want to do, and they were prepared to even suffer themselves to get it done. The fierceness of sacrifice underlies all this. I want to stake my intellectual sincerity on the stake that so far, of all people who want to lead Nigeria today as president, I've not seen a man whose discipline, whose willingness to sacrifice, whose single-mindedness, whose commitment to the basic welfare of ordinary people trumps that of Mr. Mgbeke. I am a critic, so I have a right, I can say everybody. But I can tell you that the reason why Mgbeke fits this moment is that this moment calls for disruption. This moment calls for someone to extricate us from a deadening and self-reinforcing cobweb of corruption. You can't get it out the normal way. We cannot get to development through the same patrimony that has characterized our politics. We need a new politics, and the obedient movement is that vanguard. I would like to end on this note. The great American sociologist, Mgbeke, says Do not neglect what a few people can do. He said, in history, what matters is what few people can do. It was few people, 3 people in Oxford who dreamt about making Singapore great. Nipa and you as colleagues, and they came back and diligently plotted the path to what is today Singapore. We are very